Philippine Navy Chief: We must improve Navy capability to protect our maritime territory. The Philippine Navy is one of the weakest maritime defense forces in Southeast Asia, making the vast archipelago of more than 100 million vulnerable to the wild as China's firmness in taking control of the region is still in talks, according to senior officers, including top commanders. A few days ago, we were surprised by reports that China has installed anti-ship missiles and anti-air missiles in 3 critical island features: Subi, Fire Cross and Mischief Reefs, said a Philippine naval officer at a maritime security seminar in Manila on May B. He went on to say, the next logical step is the spread of the J-11 attack with a range of 1,500 kilometers, carrying almost the entire Philippine archipelago in the Chinese military range. We have to improve the Filipino Navy's ability so we can protect our maritime waters as we are an archipelagic nation, Philippine Navy Chief Robert Empedrad told reporters afterwards. With a weak navy, we cannot protect it. With more than 7,600 islands, the 5th longest coastline in the world, and territorial waters 7 times larger than the land area, the Philippines should be a great maritime country, said Empedrad, adding it once. 6 decades later, we're one of the weakest navy, even in Southeast Asia, said Empedrad. Maritime nations like Malaysia, Indonesia, Japan and Singapore, and even Vietnam and Myanmar, have increased their naval capabilities. While the Philippine Navy is experiencing obsolescence, Empedrad said in a celebration of the 120th anniversary of the Navy on May 22. In 2006, the Philippine Navy began pursuing plans to return to being strong and credible by 2020 through the modernization of its equipment and improving the training of its officers and personnel. Under President Benigno Aquino, the Navy began acquiring more modern equipment, such as all 109 helicopters, landing craft heavy ships donated by the Australian government, Hamilton-class cutters from the United States, and multi-purpose attacks. And when Manila filed an arbitration suit against Beijing in 2013 on disputed features in the South China Sea, China reacted by increasing reclamation activity on the disputed reef while rejecting the process of territorial dispute resolution permitted under the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea. Signer. In 2016, the Philippines won the case because the arbitration tribunal ruled that a line of 9-line theory called China, where China's claims over virtually the entire South China Sea were leaning, had no legal basis. In recent weeks, international concern over China's activities in the South China Sea has surged again on news of their militaristic nature. China also installed military jamming equipment at Mischief Reef and Fiery Cross Reef, and anti-ship cruise missiles and surface-to-air missile systems. But at a naval anniversary celebration, Empedrad describes the actions taken to improve the nation's maritime defense. These include the acquisition of 5 TC-90 aircraft from Japan, and the first missile capabilities of the Navy, mounted on multi-purpose combat aircraft. This aircraft has a further range that can effectively cover our vast ocean waters to support the country's ground-based monitoring station, said Empedrad on TC-90 from Japan's Maritime Martial Forces. He also described the missile system that Israel built as very accurate, providing powerful prevention. "I'm sure the enemy lining our maritime waters will be threatened." A Pohang corvette from South Korea can also be shipped later this year. The Philippine Marine Corps will receive an amphibious assault helicopter early next year. 2 anti-submarine helicopters with torpedoes will operate next year, and 2 missile frigates are expected by 2020, the Navy chief said. While praising the acquisition, former National Security Advisor Royal Ogolas says there is still much to be done to enable the Philippine Navy to effectively safeguard the territorial waters of the country. But he noted the difficulty given the size of the Philippine economy, about $400 billion, just slightly more than twice what China will spend in 2018 only on its military. Source: news.abcbn. Thanks for watching and hearing about this latest military news. Video is just an illustration and hope you enjoy it.